Hi, when this series first aired you saw Chad making his tabletop. Well, here's me making mine. And don't forget that plans are available for this build. As the rough cut boards have acclimated, there's been a little bit of movement, so I need to re-flatten the boards and thickness them all the same thickness. I'll first flatten each board in turn using stop shavings and through shavings as necessary, and once all the boards are done I can pick the thinnest one and thickness all the others to that. An easy way to make sure that the boards all go together to produce a reasonably flat panel is to shoot the edges with the sandwich shooting board technique. So basically put the one board that we're shooting above another board, use the plane on its side on the bench and shoot the edge. And we should find if we set the blade correctly in the plane that we'll end up with a 90-degree edge. Sometimes just the act of clamping up a panel can throw it out of flat, so if we use two stiff cauls, one above, one below, and clamp those on as we clamp the edges together, that should keep us as flat as we can get. Once the tabletop is cured, we need to remove all the excess squeeze out of glue before we can check it for flat. There's likely to be a little bit of out of flatness, and there is here. I can get a sheet of paper through. In fact, I tried it, I could get about 3 sheets of paper through in the middle. That's not very much, so the easiest way I could cure that was to just plane off straight through on the high areas and gradually work towards a nice flat surface. I've got a very steep bevel angle on this bevel up plane, and I'm taking very fine shavings because this is going to be my finished surface. One of the striking features of the design of this table are the upturned breadboard ends, which I call wings. I need to prepare the edge of my tabletop nice and straight to take these breadboard ends, so I'm just planing that. And here I'm just laying out for the tenons that will go on the tabletop and the mortises that will go in the breadboard ends. The mortises will be a little bit bigger than the tenons, a little longer than the tenons, to allow for a bit of seasonal movement. start shaping the wings on the concave side using a rebate plane with different fence settings to get me very close to the shape that I want. Then I change to a round plane to get rid of all the steps in the curve, and finally move on to scrapers to finish the curve off nice and smoothly. The Moranti didn't scrape all that well, so I ended up finishing it off with fine sandpaper. What I'm going to do, because of seasonal movement, is put some pins through, 2 for every tenon, and I'll have 1 tenon glued, the others just relying on the pins in slotted holes. As the pins are installed, the final section is given some glue so that it glues to the actual wing. Now I can flush the inside of the wings, which was left slightly proud, down to the surface of the top. And give everything a final sanding on the inside. The ends of the wings, which were also made over length, can now be trimmed back and flushed to the tabletop. Shaping the outside of the wings is dead easy with a bench plane and some sandpaper. A full set of plans to go along with this build are available from my Etsy store or from my website. These plans include component drawings, options, a materials list, and over a dozen tips that will help your build go smoothly. Thanks for watching.